The Galactic Council, a coalition of advanced alien civilizations that had dominated the stars for millennia, convened in their grand chamber. The room, carved from ancient celestial stone, pulsed faintly with the energy of countless worlds. Yet today, an uneasy silence hung in the air. For the first time in its history, the Council had summoned a representative of Earth, a planet deemed unworthy of attention until its sudden and violent retaliation against the Greylax Empire. The Greylax, known for their ferocity and conquest, had viewed Earth as little more than an untapped resource, ripe for plunder. Their warships had descended on human cities with brutal efficiency, leveling entire nations within hours. The Galactic Council had watched passively, assuming that Earth's primitive inhabitants would crumble under the might of the Greylax fleet. But humanity didn't crumble. Humanity retaliated. It began with a series of devastating counterstrikes. The Greylax, accustomed to easy victories, were blindsided by the sheer ferocity of Earth's response. Human forces, though technologically inferior, demonstrated an unparalleled mastery of asymmetric warfare. Using a combination of unconventional tactics, guerrilla strikes, and cyber sabotage, they dismantled the Greylax fleet piece by piece. Entire armadas vanished as human forces lured them into traps. Asteroid fields rigged with explosives, artificial solar flares, and gravity wells turned into weapons. The final blow came when Earth scientists, in a desperate gamble, weaponized a pulsar near the Greylax homeworld. The pulsar emitted a catastrophic wave of energy, obliterating the Greylax capital and leaving their empire in ruins. The surviving Greylax, humbled and scattered, sent out a plea for help to the Galactic Council. But it wasn't the Greylax who arrived at the chamber. It was humanity, a lone human envoy, dressed in a sleek, unadorned suit, strode into the chamber. The aliens present observed the envoy with a mixture of fascination and unease. Humans had been dismissed as insignificant, a species too young and inexperienced to pose any threat. Now, they stood as victors over one of the most feared empires in the galaxy. The envoy took their place at the center of the chamber, their calm demeanor betraying none of the storm that humanity had unleashed. Members of the Galactic Council, the envoy began, their voice carrying the weight of Earth's fury. We were content to stay on our world, to build, to explore, and to dream. We extended our hand in peace to the stars, and it was slapped away by the Greylax. They thought they could take what was ours. They thought we would submit. The chamber echoed with the envoy's words. Some council members exchanged uneasy glances, while others leaned forward, intrigued. They were wrong. Humanity is not weak. We are not prey. We are survivors, and when pushed, we push back harder than anyone could have imagined. Let the ruins of the Greylax homeworld serve as a reminder of what happens when you underestimate Earth. The silence that followed was deafening. The Council had expected a plea for aid, perhaps even an apology for the destruction humanity had wrought. Instead, they were faced with a species that demanded respect, not through negotiation, but through sheer force of will. One of the Council's most senior members, a towering being with crystalline skin, finally spoke. Your actions have destabilized an entire sector. The loss of the Greylax Empire will create a power vacuum that could lead to chaos. What do you propose to prevent this? The envoy's eyes gleamed. Humanity has no interest in conquest or domination. We will not replace the Greylax, but we will defend ourselves, and we will ensure that no species ever dares to test us again. The chamber erupted into murmurs. Some saw humanity's rise as a threat, others as an opportunity. The envoy waited patiently, letting the weight of their words sink in. Finally, the crystalline being spoke again. Earth has proven itself formidable, but know this. Power in the galaxy comes with responsibility. Should your actions disrupt the fragile balance we have maintained, you will face consequences. The envoy smiled, a small, unsettling expression. And should any of you disrupt the balance we have reclaimed, you will face Earth. With that, the envoy turned and walked out of the chamber, leaving the Council to grapple with a new reality. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, not as victims or supplicants, but as equals, ruthless, resourceful, and utterly unyielding. In the years that followed, the story of Earth's retaliation became a legend. Some species feared humanity, while others sought alliances. The Galactic Council, once a symbol of unchallenged power, now tread carefully around the small blue planet that had reshaped the stars with its defiance. Earth's fierce payback had stunned the galaxy, but it was the unshakable determination of its people that left an indelible mark. As humanity's envoy departed the Galactic Council chamber, the members sat in stunned silence. The declaration had been as much a promise as it was a warning. The Council, which had ruled the galaxy with a sense of detached superiority for eons, now faced a new reality. Earth's ascendance was inevitable, and humanity's uncompromising resolve demanded careful navigation. In the following weeks, news of Earth's victory and their council address spread like wildfire. Species across the galaxy debated the implications. Some saw humanity as a threat, others as potential allies, but all recognized one fact. Humanity was no longer a footnote in galactic affairs. On Earth, the response to the council meeting was mixed. Many celebrated the envoy's strength and the acknowledgement of humanity as a force to be reckoned with. Others worried that Earth's defiance might provoke future conflicts. But one sentiment united them all: pride in the resilience that had carried them through the darkest times. Back in the council chamber, deliberations on humanity's future role in the galaxy began in earnest. The council, once so sure of its dominance, now grappled with an existential question. Could they afford to underestimate humanity again? On the fringes of known space, remnants of the Galactic Empire festered, their hatred for us smoldering in the ruins of their former glory. They licked their wounds and vowed vengeance. Yet, even as they planned, they faced a daunting truth. Humanity had transformed itself into a symbol of defiance. Any attack on Earth would be met not with fear, but with the kind of retaliation that had reduced their empire to ash. Meanwhile, Earth scientists, engineers, and military strategists worked tirelessly. They knew the galaxy was vast and dangerous, and their survival depended on staying one step ahead. Human ingenuity, born from millennia of struggle on a volatile planet, became their greatest weapon. Earth's fleets grew stronger, faster, and more unpredictable, incorporating alien technology into designs uniquely their own. Over the next decade, humanity's presence in the galaxy expanded. They formed cautious alliances with species that admired their strength and shared their values. Trade flourished, and Earth became a hub of cultural exchange. At the same time, humanity maintained a sharp edge, never allowing complacency to dull their vigilance. The Galactic Council, once dismissive of Earth, began to adapt. They acknowledged humanity as a stabilizing force, an unpredictable but necessary counterbalance to the unchecked ambitions of more established powers. For the first time in its history, the Council revised its protocols to reflect the new order. Earth was granted a permanent seat, not out of goodwill, but out of pragmatic necessity. In the quiet corners of the galaxy, whispers of Earth's defiance grew into myths. To oppressed worlds, humanity became a beacon of hope. To conquerors, a warning. The Galactic's remnants, now little more than scattered warbands, attempted sporadic raids but were met with swift and decisive retribution. Each failed assault only added to humanity's legend. And so, the galaxy turned. Where once Earth had been an afterthought, it was now a cornerstone of galactic politics. The Council adapted, the Galactics faded, and humanity thrived, not because they sought power, but because they had earned respect. Years later, the envoy who had delivered Earth's ultimatum returned to the council chamber. This time, their arrival was met with quiet deference. The galaxy had changed, and humanity had proven not only its strength but also its wisdom. As the envoy took their place at the center of the chamber, they smiled. Humanity had not just survived, they had reshaped the stars themselves.
As humanity's envoy prepared to leave the Galactic Council chambers, The weight of their words lingered like an echo that refused to fade. The council members, representatives of civilizations that spanned eons and countless star systems, sat in a silence thick with unease. For millennia, they had seen themselves as unchallengeable stewards of galactic stability. But the humans had done something they hadn't anticipated. They'd pushed back. Over the ensuing months, the council watched humanity closely, balancing between cautious diplomacy and concealed alarm. Earth's defiance and its unyielding spirit had triggered debates among member species. Some saw the humans as reckless and dangerously unpredictable. Others admired their resolve, a rare quality in a galaxy accustomed to deference. The Greylax remnants, however, refused to let their humiliation subside. The once dominant empire was now reduced to scattered warlords and disorganized fleets, but their thirst for revenge burned brighter than ever. Operating from the shadows, they began testing Earth's defenses, launching sporadic raids on human settlements and trade routes. But Earth was ready. The years of oppression, isolation, and survival had honed humanity into a force that could no longer be underestimated. Each attack was met with precision strikes and overwhelming force. The human fleets, once cobbled together from salvaged materials, were now sleek, powerful, and brimming with the innovation that only necessity could breed. One particular counterattack became the stuff of legend. A Greylax flotilla attempted to ambush a lone human convoy in a barren system far from Earth. What they didn't realize was that the convoy was bait. Hidden within the asteroid fields was a human task force equipped with experimental weapons, tools that combined human ingenuity with salvaged alien technology. The battle was swift and decisive. Greylax ships disintegrated under the assault of kinetic weapons, pulse disruptors, and precision railguns. Survivors were left adrift, their cries for aid unanswered by their own kind. Word of the trap spread quickly. The galaxy, watching from afar, saw the truth. Humanity was no longer merely defending itself. It was reshaping the battlefield. As humanity's influence expanded, so did their alliances. They didn't conquer. Humans were not empire builders. Instead, they fostered relationships with species who had been overlooked or oppressed by the Council's bureaucracy. These allies, often small and vulnerable, found in humanity a protector willing to stand against injustice. Together, they formed a coalition of worlds that valued freedom and mutual respect, a sharp contrast to the often detached governance of the Council. But humanity's rise wasn't without challenges. Old divisions on Earth flared up, threatening to derail their progress. Political factions clashed over how much of Earth's culture and technology should be shared with alien allies. Militarists pushed for further expansion and preemptive strikes against potential threats, while diplomats advocated for restraint and negotiation. Through it all, Earth's leadership, bolstered by voices from every corner of the planet, navigated the treacherous waters of interstellar politics. They knew that humanity's strength lay not just in its technology or its newfound allies, but in its adaptability, a trait forged in the crucible of Earth's tumultuous history. In time, even the Galactic Council began to change. Humanity's defiance had forced them to reconsider their role in the galaxy. No longer could they afford to dismiss younger, emerging civilizations. They adapted, incorporating some of Earth's practices into their governance. The Council became more inclusive, though grudgingly at first, as it realized that Earth's ideals, imperfect as they were, resonated with many disenfranchised worlds. The Greylax, however, were not finished. From the ruins of their empire, a charismatic leader emerged, uniting the scattered remnants under a single banner. They launched a final assault, targeting Earth itself in a desperate bid to reclaim their lost glory. The attack was monumental, a fleet so massive it blotted out the stars. But humanity was ready. United as never before, they unleashed every weapon, every strategy, every ounce of ingenuity they had. The battle for Earth's survival became a turning point, not just for humanity, but for the galaxy as a whole. In the end, the Greylax were utterly defeated, their fleet reduced to ash. The Council, watching from afar, could no longer deny the truth. Humanity had become a cornerstone of galactic stability. Their resilience, their defiance, and their unyielding spirit had reshaped the stars themselves. Years later, as humanity and its allies stood as equals within the council chambers, a new chapter began. Earth, once seen as a backwater planet, had become a symbol of hope, a reminder that even the smallest spark could ignite a revolution. And across the galaxy, species whispered of the day humanity had finally reached its breaking point, and how the galaxy was never the same afterward.
The aftermath of the Greylax assault reshaped Earth and the galaxy forever. Earth's victory had not just been a demonstration of power, but a rallying cry for countless species living in the shadow of the Galactic Council's complacency. Alien delegations began visiting Earth, seeking alliances, trade, and, most surprisingly, guidance. Humanity, cautious yet proud, began helping rebuild shattered civilizations. The coalition they had formed during their rise now expanded into a vast network of interstellar partnerships. Former enemies turned uneasy allies, and smaller species, once ignored, found a voice in this new order. Humans didn't just defend their planet. They championed a future where strength served justice. But with humanity's new role came profound questions. Was their relentless defiance a boon or a curse? Earth's leaders debated fiercely, striving to ensure their people didn't become the very kind of oppressors they had once stood against. Their military expanded, but so did their diplomacy, science, and cultural exchange. The Greylax survivors, though broken, remained a persistent shadow. Rumors spread of hidden enclaves plotting revenge, developing experimental weapons, or rallying allies in distant sectors. Humanity, however, had learned the price of ignoring danger. Vigilant and prepared, they turned their innovative spirit toward not just weapons, but defenses and peacekeeping. Generations passed, and Earth's influence only grew. Their unyielding nature became a cultural hallmark, inspiring songs, stories, and philosophies across the stars. In distant corners of the galaxy, alien children told tales of the day the humans had stood unbroken against impossible odds. Yet, Earth never forgot the cost of their triumphs. Memorials dotted the homeworld and beyond, honoring those lost in the wars that had reshaped the galaxy. The sacrifices made were a reminder to every generation of what it meant to protect not just their own, but the shared ideals of freedom and unity. The Galactic Council, once dismissive and stagnant, had transformed under Earth's pressure. Its halls now included representatives from species previously ignored, and its policies reflected a more inclusive, balanced approach. Humanity's fierce defiance had become the seed for a fairer galaxy. In the end, Earth's rise wasn't just about power or survival. It was about proving that even in a universe dominated by ancient empires and overwhelming odds, one species could make a difference, not through conquest, but by refusing to break. The scars of humanity's defiance remained etched into the fabric of the galaxy for centuries. Stories of Earth's resistance and eventual triumph spread far and wide, reaching corners of the universe untouched by Greylax or Council influence. To the downtrodden, Earth became a beacon of hope. To tyrants, it was a reminder of the cost of underestimating even the smallest embers of defiance. The Galactic Council, now a reformed institution, struggled to reconcile its history of neglect with its new mandate of inclusivity and fairness. Under Earth's subtle guidance, it began dismantling centuries-old hierarchies and biases. The process was slow, marred by occasional backlash from those who had thrived under the old ways, but progress was undeniable. Humanity itself changed. Its leaders, once focused solely on defense and survival, began to embrace their newfound responsibility as stewards of a more just galaxy. A new generation of humans grew up knowing the galaxy not as a distant, mysterious expanse, but as a connected community of species with shared struggles and dreams. Scientists worked tirelessly to share Earth's technologies, blending human ingenuity with alien advancements to create systems that ensured mutual prosperity. Yet, not all was peaceful. In the shadows of progress, remnants of the Greylax Empire bided their time, licking their wounds and plotting their resurgence. Skirmishes in the outer territories were rare but fierce, testing humanity's resolve and the strength of the alliances they had forged. Each time, humanity proved they were more than just a force to be reckoned with. They were a unifying presence, rallying allies to defend the fragile peace. Earth's cultural impact grew as well. Music, art, and philosophy from humanity's storied history began to permeate alien cultures. Concepts like freedom, individuality, and resilience took root in unexpected places, reshaping the way entire civilizations viewed themselves and their place in the universe. In the heart of it all, humanity remained humble, aware of the thin line they walked between leadership and domination. The elders who had lived through the first contact wars reminded the young of the cost of their victories, ensuring that Earth's legacy would be one of guardianship, not conquest. And so, the galaxy moved forward, forever changed by the day Earth stood firm. While the future remained uncertain, one truth was undeniable. Humanity had proven that even in the vastness of space, where entire worlds could be crushed without a second thought, the indomitable spirit of one determined species could turn the tide. And for every star that burned bright in the night sky, there was one constant whisper: never underestimate the humans.